Capozzo. Confringo. Revelio. I should investigate. Revelio.
know I heard something that... Aha! There you are!
Yes! Potato! Stupid! Potato!
You call that spellcasting? Oh, I could do this for days. But I'm better. Is that it?
Potato!
Nice try. Don't you try again, I beg you.
Oh.
I could do this for hours. As if you could best the likes of me.
Protego! Stupid! Confringo! Arresto momentum.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Let us keep our heads about this. Don't uncomfortable.
Oh, there was something else too. Powder
Compulsor!
Have you finished your assignments?
I finished the tasks, Professor.
Well, well. I trust you are meticulous in your efforts. After all, shortcuts only ever lead to shortcomings.
Yes, sir, of course.
Good. Ordinarily, I'd say it's not my concern either way, but you... I want to make sure you're well prepared. Talent and resolve are a potent combination. It would be a shame to let that go to waste.
Thank you, Professor.
Don't let it go to your head. Now, let's see how you fare with Diffindo. Wand at the ready. Focus. Diffindo can be dangerous if you're not paying attention. Very good. It seems you have a grasp on Diffindo. I would encourage you once again to practice here in the classroom, for your sake and that of everyone else. It's a pleasure to have a student who actually heeds instruction.
Arresto momentum. Confringo! Reparo! Diffindo!
As I mentioned earlier, Diffindo can be versatile but dangerous. Good to see you continuing to practice.
Professor Sharp, do you have a moment?
Depends on how you intend to use it.
I saw an aura badge on your desk and was wondering if you could tell me more about your time as an aura.
Observant. I suppose I could indulge you for a moment. Spent years tracking down reprobates who dealt in artifacts of dark magic origin.
That seems a bit more dangerous than teaching potions.
Often, yes. Though I've seen some remarkably creative concoctions brewed in my class. I enjoyed a great deal of success as an aura. However, success can make one complacent if one's confidence is not tempered by humility. One overstep in battle changed everything.
May I ask what happened?
Yes, well, I suppose it's a matter of record. My partner and I had tracked a suspect to a harbor in Scarborough, trying to smuggle shrunken heads of all things. I had deduced that he was working alone. I was mistaken, and they knew we were coming. From the moment we stepped onto the ship, well, I barely escaped with my life. My partner wasn't so lucky.
I suppose being an aura is dreadfully dangerous. I'm sorry.
It is at that. But survival is not guaranteed for any of us. Pay attention. And not just within my class. This is what I must impress upon you all. A potion and a poison may be a mere breath apart, until you consume the wrong one.
Well said, Professor. Revelio. Defendo.
That will be enough of that.
Adelaide Oaks, isn't it? I received your owl.
Yes, I'm Adelaide Oaks. Oh dear. You see, my Uncle Roland is a metal trader who's quite well known in the goblin community. He normally sends me owls every week when he's on his business travels. In his last owl, he alluded to dealings with those radical goblins, Ranrock's loyalists. It's been ages since that owl and I'm worried. What with the troll attack on Hogsmeade and the rumours that goblins may have been involved, well, I'm fearing the worst. Should I be worried about my uncle, or am I overthinking this?
I think you're right to be concerned, Adelaide. Your uncle may be in trouble.
You're much more understanding than Professor Weasley. She heard I was going to look for him and forbade me from leaving the grounds. She's convinced he can handle himself, but I can't concentrate on anything until I know he's all right. Could you try to find out for me? From what I hear, you're almost as adventurous as Uncle Roland.
Has your uncle traded with many goblins?
Yes, for ages. Even speaks gobbledygook. But he only recently mentioned Ranrock's lot, insisting the galleons were worth the risk. He does it for me. Between robes and supplies, attending Hogwarts costs a fair sickle. And besides that, Uncle Roland has expensive taste. He's sacrificed so much for me over the years. I promised him that as soon as I finish Hogwarts, I shall be the one taking care of him.
I take it you and your uncle are close.
We are. My mother died when I was born, and I lost my father when I was 5. Uncle Roland's looked after me for as long as I can remember. He knows I get anxious when he travels, and that's why he sends me all the owls, to let me know that he's all right.
I'll try and look into it for you, Adelaide.
Thank you. He's very thorough in his record keeping, notes all his trades in a journal, makes maps. In fact, in his last owl, he drew me a map of his next stop. He'd planned to set up camp north of here. I do hope you're able to find out where he is. Thank you again for any help you can provide. Oh, Uncle Roland, what have you got yourself into?
this be Mr. Oakes' campsite? Ranrock's loyalists, just ahead. Should I take them? Incendio! Incendio! All right.
I've been fighting since before you were born. Was that your best?
Confringo!
A miss! That was meant for me. You can't stop us.
Confringo!
Oi.
Protego! Now to find out what happened here. Revelio. Mr. Oakes' trade journal. Adelaide said that her uncle kept notes of his trades, maps. Perhaps these landmarks will lead me to him.
到这里，哇！
Revelio. Also. Revelio. Revelio. Confringo! Revelio. A rock formation. That's the first landmark on this map. Now to find the crooked tree. crooked tree, just as the map said. The crumbling tower shouldn't be far from here. What do we have here? Revelio. I may have more luck higher up in the keep. Revelio. This looks like trouble.
Who's there? How nice of you to stop. Was that your best? Your spells glance.
Arresto momentum.
I won't rest until you're dead.
Revelio. A ladder. That's what I need.
See myself doing this sort of thing forever, though. Fancy I'll have my own operation worked out one day. People working for me.
What's that? Who's there? What was that? Enjoy suffering, do you?
Revelio. Not the best place for an unaccompanied student. Revelio.
那你跑到这里来，是冲分条的。
The area's still clear. If anybody cares. Huh?
This is the spot on the map. I'd best have my wits about me.
Pitiful.
Hey. 没吧？
Do with a nice mushroom stew about now.
Thank you again for delivering those potions to Madame Lawing. Saved me a lot of time and trouble. Hear you found a bit of treasure in the forest. Was never one for adventure myself. A wise decision. Thank you. I hope to see you again. Farewell for now.
Perhaps not the best place to be caught alone. Glad I was never locked up here.
Mind will submit. Is somebody there? Hello? That must be good. Here. Up for a bit of dying, are we? If only I could get my hands on the thing for that student.
got a box. Revelio. Now here's a sad-looking place.
Afraid to fight. Someone's here. You almost had a lucky shot. You're making this too easy. Miss me. You will suffer. This is almost too easy. No!
Confringo! Revelio. Protego! Trouble's brewing and I'm without my friends. Revelio. Accio. Revelio. Stone walls do a prison make, sometimes. Revelio. What will we find in here? Revelio.
Who's there? Well, something made a sound. Must have been me.
Punishment to us all to have that miserable human around.
I've never seen a sword like it.
Confringo! Arresto momentum. Repulsor!
It looks as though Adelaide's instincts were spot on.
Ranrock has fooled you all. To your demise. Revelio. Alohomora.
Who's there? Such arrogance.
Prepare. Revelio. Revelio.
Yeah.
When the war is over, goblins will rule over wizards at last. Who is it? An utterly pitiful display.
What was that?
Protego. Preparo.
I won't rest.
Arresto momentum. Protego. Confringo.
Is somebody there? Hello?
Ready to fight. I will make you pay.
Good for you.
Let's get this over with.
Revelio.
A boiler door. How to open it?
One way or another, we'll get what we owe. You are terribly unmatched. Surely you can see that.
I won't rest until you're dead. No! I will make you pay.
Good for you. Arresto momentum.
I won't rest. You call that spellcasting? Impressed? You're weak, human.
Good for you.
Not quite. Since before you were...
Crisis. Incendio.
You won't stop me. You can't stop us. Oh, that was meant for me.
Yeah.
Easily diverted.
Yeah.
Was that just... Glance off of me.
Yeah. Some 微风哦。
Protego.
Well done.
Glacius.
I shall avenge your death.
Revelio.
This must be Mr. Oakes's wand. Perhaps now he can set himself free.
Revelio.
음, 这不就是一个地方吗？
Revelio.
Incendio.
Revelio.
What's down there?
How nice of you to stop by.
Accio. Incendio. Glitching. Stupid one. Accio.
Someone been taken out last week. I won't rest.
Incendio. Accio.
Much not quite. That was meant for me.
哎呀，
You've one less follower, Ranrock. Revelio.
Hello? Mr. Oakes?
Yes, I'm here. I've taken my wand. This cell has an enchanted lock. I have experience with these locks, but I need my wand if I have any chance of opening it. Look for a boiler door. I've heard them speak of it.
Fortunately, I've already found your wand, Mr. Oakes.
You found it! Pass it to me. Hurry, before they come. I must get out. Hurry!
哎呀，
You did it! I found my wand and... Wait, you're a student? Oh, we must get you to safety immediately. It's dangerous.
It's all right, Mr. Oakes. I've dealt with these goblins before.
Dear Merlin, you're either very lucky or very talented. Well, how did you find me?
I'm a friend of Adelaide's. She was worried about your business with Ranrock's loyalists.
Oh, she was right to be. I couldn't go through with the agreement, and when I told them, I ended up blindfolded and behind bars. Been locked in that infernal cell for so long, they'd forgot I was even there. I overheard things. If only I could reward you for what you've done. Blasted goblins stole every Knut on me. All I can say is thank you, truly.
You mentioned you overheard things.
Sad tale, really. I think I know where Ranrock's unfortunate vendetta against wizardkind began. Although dragon breeding was outlawed by the Warlocks Convention of 1709, Ranrock stumbled upon an illegal dragon camp. He was young, found the creatures fascinating. He'd visit the camp in secret whenever he could, never making his presence known. After weeks of sly surveillance, he finally summoned the courage to speak to the wizard in charge. Ranrock wanted to join them, and the creatures. The wizard happened to drop his wand. Ranrock saw an opportunity. He picked it up, went to hand it back as a means of introducing himself. The sight of a goblin with a wand sent the wizard into an instant rage. He beat Ranrock nearly to death. Ever since, Ranrock has despised wizardkind, sees us all as cruel.
Am I right that you speak gobbledygook?
Unbeknownst to Ranrock's fiends, I do. I've always had an affinity for goblin culture. Knew I wanted to be a metal trader ever since I was a lad. It wasn't easy learning the language. It's complex, and my memory's as weak as my knees these days. But after decades working with fine goblin folk, I grew fairly proficient. At least, I'd like to think so.
I'm grateful I was able to help you, Mr. Oakes. Adelaide thinks the world of you.
Oh, and I her. She's become quite savvy to my trading habits, always analyzing my detailed owls. If only I hadn't resorted to trading with such fiends. A lesson I shan't soon forget. Having my wand back is like being reunited with an old friend. I must return home and inform Adelaide of my safety. Will you be all right?
I'll be fine, Mr. Oakes. You get back to Adelaide. I assure you, her worries outweigh yours.
Oh, I'm anxious to see my dear niece. And then I plan to travel far from here for my next round of trading. Thank you. May life reward you justly for your deeds. Be well, my friend.
Mr. Oakes was lucky. Ranrock's lot would never have freed him. Revelio!
这些部长急忙撇清，让事物也没有办法说清楚被太阳计划。请部主该小队正线队局长再次交往。证据证明真相部长涉案是实际的黄金现金，两项至少有超过
Hello, Serona. I received your owl. How are you?
Hello, my friend. Did you ever find Lodgok?
I did, thank you. We had a good conversation. He sends you his best.
Glad to hear it. I shan't ask for details of your little chat, and I'll refrain from telling you to be careful yet again. But I hope you will be, whatever your plans.
Of course. Your owl mentioned you're needing my help with something?
I do. I thought you might be just the person to do a favour for my friend Dorothy Sprottle in Upper Hogsfield.
I've actually met Mrs. Sprottle. I recently spoke with her about her friend Claire Beaumont.
She's lovely. Her late husband Aidan was a friend of my father's. In fact, I'd stay with Dot and Aidan the summers I waited tables here as a student. I've seen her a few times since Aidan passed, but the pub's been so busy lately, I've not been as attentive as I'd have liked. I wonder if you might pop in and see her. She may need some help collecting ingredients for her supply of Wiggenweld potion. And you could retrieve something of mine in the process. A box, full of old letters and such.
Why does Mrs. Sprottle keep a supply of Wiggenweld potion on hand?
Dot's a skilled potioneer. She's been supplying travelling vendors with Wiggenweld potion. An ordinary precaution that has, unfortunately, become a necessity, what with Ranrock's loyalists disrupting the trade routes.
Why did Mr. and Mrs. Sprottle have your box of letters after all this time?
It's one of a few that I had when I was young. Dot found it when she was clearing out a closet. Can't imagine what's in there. Probably terribly theatrical. Ramblings of a teenage witch and her friends. You're welcome to take a peek inside, if you do find it. To be honest, I'd imagine it contains some lovely memories.
I'll try to go and see her when I can.
It would mean the world to me, and to Dorothy. Aidan was bringing the box of letters to me when he was taken ill. Dot can tell you where he might have dropped it. You'll find the hamlet just north of Hogsmeade. Please do give Dot my love.
Upper Hogsfield. Now where to find Mrs. Sprottle? Nice to see you again, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Sirona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you.
Oh, dear Sirona, a gem. Has been for as long as I've known her.
She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion.
And she's correct. My darling Aiden used to collect Horklumps for me. Since he died, my supply has dwindled.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Sprottle.
Oh, thank you. Love of my life. A bit lost without him. If you wouldn't mind gathering some Horklumps for me, I'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
Believe it or not, I have some with me.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion.
Sirona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill.
Indeed he was. I'd almost forgotten. I stumbled upon it just before Aiden died. He was hoping to go through it with Sirona over a butterbeer or two. Those two were always like two bowtruckles in a branch. Aiden took ill when he was collecting Horklumps on his way to see her. He made it home, but I fear he dropped the box in the cavern.
No?
The cavern is in the hills just southwest of our hamlet. You can gather Horklumps and collect the box of letters there.
Sirona said she lived with you during the summers when she was at Hogwarts. What was she like?
Oh, goodness. Well, she was almost exactly like she is now. Charming, good head on her shoulders, taking care of everyone. I can't tell you the fun we had when she and her friends would visit us during the year, all buzzing about, practicing charms. Talented group. Her friend Mirabelle was a genius in the garden. Learned it all from her muggle parents, if you can believe it.
Do you remember anything about the letters you put in the box?
Oh, of course. A few letters from some of her school friends. Some nice memories. I even included a letter Sirona had written to me when she was staying with us. Thought she might enjoy reading it. I know when I read writing from my youth, I'm always astonished at how much I've changed, and yet remain the same.
Thank you, Mrs. Sprottle.
Thank you. I'll be here if you are able to collect those Horklumps. I and the vendors I help would greatly appreciate it.
This must be the cavern Mrs. Sprottle mentioned. But I still need to visit the cave to find Sirona's box of letters. Perhaps I'll better have a look around. See about the Horklumps and the box of letters. Incendio! That's all the Horklumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased.
设备如果协助，从只要我电话接一台，移动位置还原，帮我接走。
Either I'll have to fight that troll, or avoid it altogether.
Incendio. Protego. Stupefy. Glacier. Accio.
没有按到。
哦。Protego. Lumos.
哦。
This must be Sorona's box of letters. I should take this box of letters to Sirona. She'll be glad to have it back. I think that's everything. Sirona will be glad to have this back.
按照杜平清共犯结构认定的理论语言，首要从少来推流程。或许是以主线这一条的数协助把3号得手的茄推到另外一个主线，羚羊添加了搭。陈文书的哥哥陈景宇分得1000万，让小兔怀疑唯有的另一后卫协助取得假证件，其他同伙还要租女协助的任务。
Thank you enough for helping to save the village from those trolls.
Hello, Sirona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some hawk lumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
I wondered about some of the letters in the box.
Of course. It appears most of the letters were from fellow students.
One of the letters mentions Quidditch practice. Did you play?
I did. Was the Ravenclaw Seeker for 3 years. Oh, Merlin's beard. I adore Quidditch. Nothing like the feeling of catching the golden snitch when your team's down by 140 points. I'll never forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. I missed cheering for Ravenclaw. We could have cheered them on together.
I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlick?
It is. Still one of my dearest friends. I know she wouldn't mind you having seen that letter. She and I are of a similar mind, especially when it comes to young people. We believe experience to be an invaluable teacher. To borrow a phrase from Mirabelle, it's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one who doubted they ever would.
I spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together.
We do. She taught me so much during my summers with her and Aiden. I shall be the first to admit that adolescents aren't always the easiest to understand, and not everyone was as kind to me as the Sprottles. But the depth of their kindness, and that of so many of my friends, got me through, well, got me through some challenging times, to put it mildly.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aiden. Thank you, again, for helping her, and for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories. Folks still talk about you taking down that troll in the village circle. You certainly made an impression.
Thank you.